Hello my friends. It's fall in Pennsylvania and the leaves are falling. So are the walnuts. I found the best way to get the nuts out is to use a hammer. And it's a lot of work, but this is something I do once a year and it's a great treat. So I forget how labor intense it is in a year's time, so that's probably why I keep going back to doing this. So in a year I'll forget what work I did and start over again. Well, you can see I stopped cracking nuts when I reached 1 cup. That's a lot of work. You can always go and buy half walnuts, but I wanted the black walnut. And what you're going to need is a cup of nuts, a half a cup of maple syrup. If you have maple sugar, you only need a 1/4 cup. About a tablespoon of butter and a small pan to cook the small volume of syrup. And if I don't make my own syrup, I'll go and buy usually a gallon in the spring off of the Amish. Add a half a cup of syrup to your pan. You want to continuously watch this. Don't let it overboil. You can lose it. You want to cook this down about half volume. And that's why I was saying that you only need a 1/4 cup of sugar. And we're using a half a cup of syrup. If you have a candy thermometer, you're going to take this to about 260 degrees. That's the hard candy. And when it starts boiling, you got to watch it real close. And to get an accurate reading, you're going to have to tip this so the tip of the thermometer is in the liquid. And since we're dealing with such a small liquid, that's why you got to tip it. Okay, right here we reached the hardball state or candy. Remove your thermometer. Turn the heat off. Then we add your butter. Now adding the butter is adding a liquid, so it's going to start taking this down from the candied stage. It'll be like a soft candy. This will have reduced in volume by about 50%. When you get real close to that candied state, you got to watch very closely because there's hardly any water left. It's evaporating very quickly and you can scorch it or hit the flash point. Add your walnuts. Alright, as soon as these are coated, you want to lay these out or spread them out on parchment paper. And break these up. These are going to cool very quickly, and if you don't, you're going to have one big mass. Now, I'll tell you right now, that smell is really, really good. Some people don't like the taste of black walnuts. Some people, you have to acquire it. I grew up with black walnuts. So it's something that I always enjoyed. Time for the taste test. It's been about 5 minutes. These are still warm. I couldn't wait much longer. Oh my gosh, is that good. You won't believe the flavor that maple syrup will give this. If you buy the maple syrup in the spring, it's going to cost between $36 and $40 a gallon. And that's off the Amish right here. And I always buy the early flow. I want the lighter color. It has less bitterness. The late flow, it will be darker and there's a bitterness to it. Still really good, but if you had your choice, get the light colored first flow. I'll eat this sparingly because I want it to last, and I'm also eating a quarter cup of sugar. So to recap real quick, you need a cup of nuts, a half a cup of maple syrup or a quarter cup of maple sugar, and about a tablespoon of butter. And the butter makes it more like caramelized, so it's really, really good. Watch very closely when you're heating the syrup, when you're reducing it down. If you watch the bubbling, when it's bubbling you want to make sure you're stirring because you don't want it to overflow the pot. Heat it to about 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you can remove the heat, add the butter, add the nuts, stir it to get it covered real quick and get it out onto the parchment paper quick without dropping your spatula on the dirty floor. And then spread the nuts out so they're not one big mass sticking together. Thanks for watching, my friends, and enjoy. Bye-bye.